We knew it was raining pretty hard, but we didn't realize how hard. We were down in the basement trying to save some photographs and things from a little bit of leaking in the basement. And little did we know that a tremendous amount of water had accumulated outside the house.
And then we heard this popping noise, and then the walls just kind of came down, and then a bunch of water rushed in, and so I just ran up the steps.
Me and Matthew ran back up to my bedroom to get a phone because we wanted to call 911, you know, and then we couldn't get it. It was a mess. And then so we went back to the stairs like a minute later, and the water was up to the top of the basement steps. And I couldn't see anything. It was so scary.
It was just like a tsunami from two sides, and it just buoyed me up very quickly. So at that point, I knew he was near the stairs, but I had lost sight of him. I don't know how much time passed.
Oh, it couldn't have been more than 10 seconds before the water and everything in the basement, the furniture, the clothing, anything that was loose, totes and boxes, that stuff, it went up about that fast. And so we tried to climb over, at least I was trying to climb over stuff as I was trying to get to the stairwell, but there was no way. It just came up too fast, so it pinned me up with my back up. So my head was down and my back was up when I got pinned against the joists. But Michaelann, luckily, she kind of bobbed like a cork a little bit, and the water took her with her head straight up. And took you right up in between a couple of joists, right?
Yeah, I just kind of worked my way around.
Well, I was head down, and the water went over my head, and I couldn't move at all. And I held my breath as long as I could.
The Hammonds children came over and alerted me that their parents were trapped in their basement. So I was there, and I yelled at them to make sure they were all right, and they responded, and they said they were okay.
But we had maybe 8 inches of air in there, which was great to have that air. And you know, luckily the lights stayed on in the basement. You know, some of them were underwater.
And then by that time, John walked in, and we decided, you know, we got to get him out. We had to cut the floor. So I ran over to get my circular saw, and then John, I think, went with Matt and got an axe from the garage.
Just sunk that axe straight into the floor because I knew it was a race against time, and no matter what, you know, and had to do exactly what we had to do. For better or for worse, we had to do something to help out.
When he struck first through the floor, he gave it everything he had. And it hit like right, he went all the way through the floor, first hit. And it was about right there. And so I screamed at him, you know, that's too close to my head. And I just remember him saying, "Ma'am, we're trying to get you out."
Yeah.
I know, but you're going to hit my head in the process. I'm going to have an axe in my head.
Over the next 10 minutes or so is when the natural gas started bubbling up into the...
Yeah, it took the gas line with it on the south wall.
So the air that we did have was soon filled up with natural gas.
And it seemed like forever, but I'm sure it was only 3 to 5 minutes. I got back over there with my circular saw because I couldn't find it in our flooded basement. So then I came back over, and John had made a couple axe holes and started the job. And then I yelled at somebody to plug my extension cord in with the saw, and we just started cutting the floor open. So we got Michaelann out first, and then we started working on to get Mike out. And the firemen showed up and lent a hand, to get him out.
Once I got to the hole that they'd made, they had to pull me straight up. So I put your hands up in the air, and then there must have been 3 or 4 different guys together pulling me up out of that hole, water in that floor. It was just an amazing feeling. But probably the coolest moment was with that first hole. I think it was an axe hole.
John made it.
And the light came through from up above. That was a beautiful sight. And then I think it might have been a fireman stuck his hand down into that hole. That was one of the most beautiful sights I ever saw.
Yeah. Just did what we needed to do.
Taking up the responsibility of living in a good community and being there for people when they need your help.
most certainly would have been a tragedy without these brave men and my children.